Om Shanti. In the Murli today, Baba asks us a question. Which sanskar does the incorporeal father have that you children also imbibe at the confluence age? And Baba says, the incorporeal father has the sanskar of knowledge. He speaks knowledge to you and makes you pure from impure. This is why he is called the ocean of knowledge, the purifier. You children also imbibe that sanskar at this time. You say with intoxication that God is teaching you. We listen to him and then tell everyone else what he tells us. So now, Baba is the ocean of knowledge, and if you remember the 7 qualities of the soul, then there is an order to it. So first comes knowledge, then purity, then peace, then love, then happiness, then bliss, then power. So when you are knowledgeful, you are pure because you know that your original quality is pure. So Baba says that Baba is the ocean of knowledge, and that is why he is the ocean of purity. And he gives us the knowledge, and when we become knowledgeful, we become pure. Do you understand this? Knowledgeful means pure, because the whole knowledge is about purity. What is knowledge? Knowledge means knowing that you are pure, your home is pure, and your father is pure. And when you came to play your part in this world, you were pure. And all impurity arises from not knowing who we are, who we belong to, or what is my original quality. So, what is knowledge? Knowledge is that which, when you understand, you become pure. This is why Baba says that before the ocean of knowledge comes, there is no knowledge in the world. And it is not like people do not have the knowledge of 5 elements, or they don't know how to read or write or sing or dance or create machines or technology. But Baba says that is not knowledge. Knowledge is given by the ocean of knowledge. And what is that knowledge which the ocean of knowledge gives? So that's the knowledge of purity and the knowledge of how to go back to your purity. Yes. And when we say pure, so only a pure soul is a powerful soul. Because if you're not pure, you are a slave. Yes, a slave of your senses, a slave of your impure sanskars. You can be victimized by anybody's behavior. Any situation can affect you. So if there is no purity, then there is no power. Without purity, there can be the knowledge of power, but there cannot be power. This is why Baba says, I am the ocean of knowledge, and the knowledge that I give you is the knowledge of purity and the power of purity. Now, what is the knowledge of purity? Baba tells us that in your original design, you were not supposed to be attached to the body, or you were not supposed to be, attached to people and things and places and situations around you. You are allowed to be peaceful, happy, powerful, come what may. That's the knowledge that Baba gives us about ourselves, about our pure nature. And then Baba tells us that you're the child of the ocean of purity who doesn't even have a body. So, and then Baba gives us the power of purity. What is the power of purity? How do we get the power of purity or the power to become pure? So Baba gives us the knowledge that you have all relationships with me. You are like me. You belong to me. And that is yoga. When we start understanding I am Baba's child and I have all relationships with Baba, and I start identifying myself with Baba, then I become like him. So this is why Baba says, know you are my child and remember me. So always see yourself in reference to me, not in reference to the world around you, because the world around you is impure, and whatever you call your own, anybody you identify with is impure. So even if you see your Lokik parents, they are impure. Everybody around you is impure. And then Baba says, if you see yourself in relationship to them, then you will become like them. So Baba says, just know that you are like me, you belong to me alone, and draw in the power of purity, draw in the power to become like me. And this is what Baba is telling in the Murli today, that I have the sanskars of knowledge and I give those sanskars to you, and I am pure by virtue of those sanskars, and you also become pure. And then when you become pure, you also become like me in giving those sanskars to others and making others pure. Yes, and you see that the whole world doesn't have this knowledge that you are a pure soul. And I remember when I first came to Baba and I was asked this question. So whatever is going on, so look at the world and whatever is going on in the world, and ask yourself whether it is happening there or it is happening here. And then I understood that it was happening here, but it was very difficult to, grasp that thing, that actually everything is happening here. And we are projecting the whole world here onto our mind space. And it depends on me what I project onto my mind space and how I project it onto it. Yes, so I have the capacity to pay attention or not pay attention. That is one capacity that I was, informed about. And before I came to Baba, I did not know I had this capacity to choose what to focus on or not to focus on. And then I was educated, or the ocean of knowledge allowed me to become knowledgeful about my capacity to project anything the way I wanted it to. So I can create my attitude, and my attitude will decide my perception. So if I have a certain attitude, if I have an attitude of seeing goodness, then I will see everything as good. And if I have an attitude of seeing weakness, then I'll only draw in the weakness in the situation or the behavior or the person and project it inside me. And you see that before Baba comes, we don't have this knowledge. And when Baba comes, this knowledge is available to us. And this knowledge is huge, because this knowledge enables you to become the master of your mind. It allows you choice. It gives you leadership over your senses. You know that your eyes can see, but you can control what you see and how you see it. You know that your ears hear, but then you can control what you hear and how you hear it. So Baba gives us this tremendous knowledge about who we are and what is our power. And then he gives us the knowledge that we are pure, and purity is original and essential to us. And in the world, we were made to believe that you are meant to be a slave of situations and people's behaviors, and attachment is natural. And Baba frees us from all of that. But we have to ask ourselves, we have received a lot of knowledge about who we are, what our virtues are, what our powers are, what our capacities and abilities are, who we belong to, what is our original form as a deity, how we were as a deity. But just ask yourself, have you applied the knowledge enough in practice for it to become a sanskar? So have we stopped being slaves, and have we actually come back to our purity based on the knowledge that Baba has given us? Because there is a very beautiful saying, it doesn't matter what you believe, what matters is how you behave. And knowledge can change what you believe, but sanskars will determine how you behave. And if I have knowledge that Baba has given us, but I don't apply it, then my sanskars remain the same. And the thing is, Baba is not making so much of effort on us for it to go to waste. Yes, and you see, we were given so many resources until now. The resource of time, the resource of money, the resource of health, the resource of relationships. And mostly we have wasted it all. Yes, and that's why we are where we are. And today, Baba is giving us this knowledge. Are we using it or are we wasting it? That's something we need to ask ourselves. Because wastage results in karmic burden. Any kind of wastage leads us to a karmic burden. And do you understand that God Himself is spending time, energy, and is giving us so much which the whole world doesn't have access to? So, do I apply it? Yes, do I apply it, or am I still functioning the way I used to? This is the question we need to ask ourselves. And then Baba is also telling us that how will I apply it? Because this knowledge is new. So Baba has told us the link that between knowledge and application is yoga. So we have been told that there are 4 subjects of knowledge: Gyan, Yog, Dharana and Seva. So Gyan is knowing, Dharana is application. And between Gyan and Dharana, there is Yoga. So if we do not sit in silence and dwell upon these points of knowledge that Baba has given us and practice them in the laboratory of our minds, we won't be able to create sanskars that are different from the sanskars that we already have. So this is why Baba says, sit in silence and see yourself as a powerful soul which is a master of the mind. And in silence, look at the thoughts that are coming in your mind, check them and change them in the light of knowledge. And when you can do this in silence, then you will be better equipped to check and change them in a real world scenario. So we have to ask ourselves, we are getting the knowledge of what to know. We are getting the knowledge how to apply it. We know how to practice so that we are in a position to apply it. But are we doing all that? Or have we wasted it like we have wasted everything else that life had given us? Yes, so this is the question that we need to ask. And Baba says that he needs many like himself. And until and unless we take from Baba, imbibe it well, we cannot become like him. And if we can't become like him, we can't create others like him. So this is the big task that Baba wants to carry out through us. Do we understand that? And you see, sometimes we have this very vain idea that Baba has come to help me manage my mind, manage one job that was entrusted to me, and manage 2 relationships that I am into. I'm a human being. This much I should be capable of taking care of myself. Baba has not come to manage my job and my mind and 2 relationships that I have. Baba has come to change the world from an impure world to a pure world. And Baba is making me an instrument for that. I have to draw in power from Baba and do that task. It's not that small task that we think is my task, and Baba has come to help me for that. A human being is capable enough of taking care of 3 people and his mind and his body. That much you should be, that's the dignity of a human being. That's not what Baba has come for. Baba has come to make me an instrument for creating a better world. So that is the task that I need to understand lies before me, and that's what Baba is filling me for. Why is Baba giving me so much sustenance, so much strength, so much knowledge? So that we imbibe it and we become that one. Sometimes, we don't realize who we are. We don't realize what Baba hopes from us. And this is why we are not doing enough. Sometimes you feel that, okay, I came to Baba, I was not able to manage my mind, my job, and 2 people in the family, and now I am able to do that, and that's enough. But that's not what God has come here for. Baba is creating a divine instrument out of me. Do I understand the responsibility on my shoulders? And if I don't understand that, then I'm wasting what Baba is giving me. Okay, so just look at how much Baba is giving me and how little I'm practicing. Why? Because I don't understand my aim. I have not recognized myself. Okay, so this is something that we need to think about today. And then Baba today in the blessing says, it is only now that you have the knowledge of sorrow and being free from sorrow. While the world of sorrow is in front of you, constantly experience the sovereignty of the land free from sorrow. This is a sign of the children who are embodiments of the 8 powers and who are conquerors of their physical senses. It is only now that you receive all the powers from the Father. If you lose any power due to the influence of bad company or by being influenced by your physical senses, the intoxication and happiness of the land free from sorrow that you have received will then automatically be lost. You, the emperor of the land that is free from sorrow, will then become bankrupt. So Baba says, Baba has given us the ability to experience the experience of living in a land free from sorrow while actually living in a land of sorrow. And how do we do that? By 2 methods. By using our 8 powers and by using the ability to stay above the influence of physical senses. Okay? And I will tell you something. Yesterday, I told Bhai that I did not like what somebody said. Okay? And there was somebody who said something, and I said I didn't like it. And then I was thinking about it maybe for 2-3 minutes. And then I shared that I didn't like that, and it's been going on in my mind for the last 2-3 minutes. And then, immediately, Bhai told me something that was very interesting. He said, "You do not have the ability to discern, do you?" So I said, "Yes, I understand what you're saying." And what he meant by not having the power to discern is, don't you have the power to discern whose words you should play in your mind and whose words you should just discern that they are not worthy of playing on your mind? Okay, so Baba says that I have given you 8 powers. And right now I'm talking about the power to discern. So Baba has given us the power to discern whose words, whose actions should we play on our mind and whose we shouldn't. And you see that an agyani will always talk like an agyani, think like an agyani, and behave like an agyani. But if you think about what they are thinking and what they are talking and how they are behaving, then you are also thinking, talking, and behaving like an agyani, because you are not using your power of discernment. And Baba has given us so many powers. And Baba says, you have to discern very quickly what is worthy of paying attention, what is worthy of thinking about, what is worthy of replying to, what is not worthy of replying or responding to. There are these decisions, these discernment that we have to have all through the day. And Baba says, if you want to live free from sorrow in this world of sorrow, then you have to constantly use these 8 powers. This knowledge that Baba has given us about good and bad, worthy and unworthy, waste and important. So Baba says, keep discerning, and then only use your man and buddhi to focus on and contemplate on words, behaviors, thoughts, scenes, situations, entities who are worthy of your attention and thought. And this is why Baba says, when you have Baba in front of you, why do you think about humans? When you have Brahma Baba and Mama to look for inspiration, why do you look for inspiration in ordinary people? You can always look towards them and know what you should do in a situation. And do you remember that in that video film that Mama that was made about Mama, there was a very beautiful thing. So there was this hoarding beside the road, and then it was an ad, and Ramesh Bhai Sahab and Nirvair Bhai Sahab had this thought that this advertisement is very well made, and so we could copy that and do something related to Baba's Gyan and disseminating Baba's Gyan on the lines of this advertisement. And then they asked Mama to pitch in and, share her thoughts about that. And then Mama said, No, I don't see the worldly see the worldly advertisements, because when I have Baba to inspire me, why should I look for inspiration here and there? Only when I have some seva, then I look at the people and the things in front of me. And when I don't have seva, I look towards Baba. I don't keep looking here and there. So we need to understand that Baba has given us the power of discernment. And then Baba has given us the power to make decisions about whether to think, how much to think, whether to reply, whether to not reply, whether to act, whether to just stay detached. Yes, what requires my action, what just requires detachment, detached observation. So Baba has given us all these abilities. Do you realize that we are very well equipped now to discern and decide in situations according to Baba's Gyan? But do we always use those powers? Do we always constantly keep discerning and deciding and, using our energy where it is actually required? And Baba says, if you are constantly using the 8 powers that Baba has given you, and what are the other powers? Baba has given me the power to withdraw like a turtle. Yes, so even if you are in a very bad situation, you can just withdraw like a turtle and stay in the protection of your, core, which is full of happiness and peace. Baba has given us the power to pack up, let go. You know that you have to go back to the soul world. So do you use the power to let go from moment to moment, because you know that you want to travel light and you want to be as light as you can in order to have smooth transition to that world? So anything that is heavy, anything that is burdening you ought not to be carried forward. So Baba has given us so many powers, and Baba says, you have the knowledge of the power and you will get the power if you apply the knowledge of the power. And when you have the powers, then these powers will insulate you from the sorrow that is around you. And you can stay free from sorrow by using these powers. And then Baba says another thing is the pull of senses. Okay? Now, anything that you use very much will pull you. Yes, if you talk too much, you will have a tendency to talk. If you think too much, you will have a tendency to overthink. If you walk too much, you will always feel like walking. So Baba says, if you see too much, you will always have a tendency to see. If you hear too much, you will have a tendency to hear. So Baba says, what you do is, you take out times when it is not necessary for you to engage with the senses and just sit detached from the senses. When you hear but not hear, see but not see, you have a mind but you are not thinking about any worldly matter. You have the capacity of attention but you're only paying attention to Baba. So just practice this detachment from the senses. You're sitting in the body, but you practice like you're above the body, and then whatever is coming through the senses of the body, is not catching your attention or your mind space. And your attention and your mind is only tuned in with Baba. And Baba says, if you practice using the powers, and if you have practiced this detachment from the body, then you can remain in this world of sorrow and experience being completely free from sorrow. And then Baba says that if you want this state to always continue, then never come into the pull of senses and never come into bad company. Now, what is bad company? The company of Parmat and Manmat. So, Baba is telling us all this, giving us this knowledge and these powers. And then we come into ego because we keep the company of people who are, thinking based on ego. And you watch stuff which is all ego based. You watch a movie, you watch a documentary, you read a scripture. They are all coming from a place of ego. And if you start aligning your mind with their mind, then you will forget that you needed to discern and decide and use your power of tolerance and use your power of patience here. And then you will fall into the trap of right and wrong. And you will lose your peace. So Baba says, stay away from bad company. Company of people who give you the opinion which is based on ego. And do not fall into the trap of the senses, and for that you have to practice being bodiless. So Baba says, if you want to stay in this world of sorrow but be completely free from sorrow, this is what you have to do. Makes sense? Yes. So Baba has given us a lot of guidance about how to use Baba's knowledge and how to stay in this world of sorrow but be free from sorrow, because if we have to move to the world of happiness, we have to create that sanskar of happiness here. And those will be created by only when we live in this world of sorrow, but we are completely free from sorrow by using this power to stay detached from senses and this power to use the 8 powers that Baba has given us. Okay, so discern, decide, moment to moment. Yes, you have to discern what is worthy enough to stay on your mind and what is not, where you should pay attention and where you shouldn't. If you don't discern waste from best, if you don't discern what is worthy and what is unworthy, then you will fall into that trap and lose your energy. Yes, children of God should have very good discerning and decision power. Om Shanti.